You're watching CTV News Channel.
Welcome back. Well, the 2012 National Scrabble Championship wrapped up on Wednesday in Orlando, Florida. And this year's competition was won by a Malaysian security analyst who finished with a record of 22-9. Canadian Robin Pollock Daniel traveled to Orlando to compete and finished the competition in 10th place. Not bad. She joins us now in studio. So first of all, Robin, congratulations.
Thank you.
And so tell us a little bit about, how the competition went for you this year.
The competition was the best I've ever had. I've had a spectacular year. Something happened where everything clicked, and I've been winning 2 tournaments and coming in second. And I was actually in second place after a couple of days at this tournament. Things were going very well. And on the second to last day, I hit a wall of tiles so bad that I couldn't overcome them, and I lost 5 in a row. So I kept fighting, and I finished in 10th place. I'm very pleased.
So how do you practice for this? You just do the game over and over and over and over?
I go online and I study word lists. There's like a tableau of words, and they pop off as I do them each one. They come off the board. So I'm just constantly studying and constantly analyzing games. What's the right way to play? What's the wrong way to play?
Okay, so we have a list, I understand, of some good words. If we can pull those up, because I'm curious what constitutes a good word. So,
okay.
Okay, so this is your best Scrabble words. Explain why.
Okay. What is a good word? It could be, sometimes it could be 3 points, but it wins you the game. And sometimes it's worth 1,000,000 points and nobody can come back from it. So Yahrzeit was my highest scoring word of the tournament, and it means the anniversary of a loved one's death in Jewish culture.
Right.
And I hit the H on the triple letter, threw a Z, 110 points. But what made it really devastating was that right after it, you see the word animate, I actually pulled that out of the bag and was able to play it for 106 right after. So 226 points in 2 turns. My opponent was finished.
But Yahrzeit, I mean, that's not an English word, so it's kosher, and I can use that word.
Well, yeah, that's what everybody at home should know, that it doesn't matter whether you agree or your Aunt Sadie agrees that it's a good word or not. If it's in the official published list, you are allowed to use it, and there are a lot of Yiddish words.
Okay, good to know. Wow, all right. And we have a list of some of the best words played against you. So what was the competition like this year? Tell us about some of these words.
The competition is always excellent.
Unhorsed.
Unhorsed to cause to fall off a horse.
Oh, didn't know that was a word.
Honest to God, I gave you a bunch of really nice tame words. It could have been a lot worse. Limnetic. I actually play that again later in the tournament, so thank you, Jerry Lerman, for teaching me that. Actually, I knew it. The competition's outstanding. This is the top players. I'm in Division 1.
Okay.
No easy games. So very few challenges. Everybody knows their stuff, and it's just a matter of sometimes a bit of luck and sometimes good challenge.
But to you, Scrabble isn't a word game. I understand to you it's mathematical. Why?
You'll find most of the top players are actually mathematicians, computer scientists, and even musicians, which uses a lot of math. The game, I think, is very architectural. It was created by Alfred Butz, who was an architect. It's got visual, spatial patterns. How you put what you put down at the right time, the wrong time is all determined by actually math, and also the probability. What is in the bag? What's left in the bag? We keep track of it. What is the statistical likelihood of picking a certain tile out of the bag? What is the likelihood of your opponent having it? It's all got to do with probabilities.
And at any given time, you have how many tiles?
You have 7 tiles per rack.
7. Okay, so speaking of tiles, this particular game, I should ask you to spell the word cheat, because that was the big concept. A lot of people talking about how somebody was cheating. What exactly happened?
What happened is that and I won't mention names, he's only 13 years old. He was suspected last year of palming, what's called palming. Here's a blank, and actually palming the blank as they were putting the tiles back in the bag to start the game, because he seemed to have an inordinate number. This year he had 39 out of 44 blanks. It's statistically unlikely. He was making bingos when you use up all your 7 tiles. He was doing that over and over again for somebody who doesn't have a great deal of word knowledge. So this year what happened is that when the tiles were squared off, you start the game, you can see 25 per square, so you know that adds up to 100. He put 2 of the blanks right here as he was setting up the board, and he would put it in his hand, and then when he put it back into the bag to start the game, he held on to the tiles right here. And then what happened is his opponent was watching him, and he said, you know what, he called over the director. He never took his eyes off of him so that he could see if he did anything with his hand. And he said, let's call over the director and recount the tiles. I'm sure, I mean, he's a young boy, you know, I mean, there's lots of reasons for cheating, and none of them are good, and hopefully he's learned a lesson. They recounted the tiles, and then what happened is somebody watching this said, I just saw him drop 2 tiles on the floor. And he had tried to hide the fact that he had maybe tried to say, oh, they fell on the floor. You know, what are the chances 2 blanks fell on the floor?
Have you ever seen cheating like this on the national level?
No, it's the first time it's happened at a national championship. It certainly happened in club play, and it certainly happened at smaller tournaments. But we're devastated by it, and we hope lessons are learned.
All right, you brought in your Scrabble board for
Yes.
us. We can see it right here.
This is my Canada board. It's got a Canadian maple leaf in the middle.
Oh, really? Okay, I couldn't see that. So what would be the smartest move to make right now, based on what you have?
Well, this is my rack. I have E-I-O-R-T-Z, and it's an interesting position because I can play Erotize, O-R and E. Everybody knows what OR means, right? I could play it right here, E-R-O-T-I-Z-E. But what's interesting about this rack is I've got the blank, and the blank is gold. So maybe I can maximize my Z, and Z is now a word. It means it's a short for pizza. So
no way.
Way.
Oh,
So,
I'm going to tell my friends I want to order some za. I
want to order
have no
some
clue
za.
what I'm talking
Well,
about.
it was
but-
very controversial when it came in. Not everybody agreed with it, but everybody loves
So
the
slang,
flexibility.
it's allowed.
Oh, what did I teach you?
So what's up?
In the
If-
dictionary?
If it's, right, okay.
Yeah, okay,
It's
that's
on
all
the
you need
list.
to
It's
know.
kosher. Got it.
So here, I'm going to put the Z here on the triple letter word. I'm going to get za and I'm going to get zit. This Z, guess how many points that's worth? 60, just for one tile. So 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 66 points, and I save my gold blank for the next turn. So
Wow,
it's a
so you're right about it being mathematical.
It's very good for learning how to add quickly.
Which I'm going to go with you on the math because I wasn't following on that one. Well, I want to thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Robin Pollock, Daniel, Scrabble player, and congratulations on your 10th place.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's time for a short break here on Express. Stay with us. More of the day's top stories are up next.